G'day Carbonites, welcome back to Space Engineers Survival Maybe. So I've done a little bit off camera without you guys. Just put some lights around the place. So we've got these little corner lights here. Just trying to light up the exterior of the base. Couple of lights out here just to light this place up. And I also put in some warning lights for the battery door. So now whenever we open the door, we have warning lights flash. And they only flash for the length of how long it takes to open the door. And there's no special sensor or anything. It's purely just a timer. So I fiddled around with it for a little while until I got a time that I was pretty happy with. So there we go. The warning lights have turned off now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at that. So if we have a look at warning, these are our warning lights. Now to get them to flash like I did, there's a blink interval of 1 second. So every 1 second it cycles, and the blink length is the percent of that time that it stays on. So every second it'll be on for 10% of the time. And then for the various different lights, to get them to be offset, I just changed the blink offset to something different, just so they're not all flashing on once at the same time and then turning off. I wanted them to be sort of random. Oh, that's right, they're hidden. There they are. Okay, so this one's 25%, and then what do we got here? That one's 75%, 35%. So you can see I just made sure none of them were the same number, so they weren't turning on at the same time. That's all. And then if we go back to that warning, we've got a timer block. So I've set the delay to 30 seconds. That's how long it takes to open and close the door, roughly. And the only thing it does is it turns off the lights. So the way that we get the lights to turn on is with the timer block that actually opens and closes the door. So if we have a look at the actions now, it turns on the warning lights, then it runs through its regular process, and it also starts the timer for that to turn the lights off. So it turns the lights off, starts opening the door, and then after 30 seconds, this one will trigger. So just notice that I'm using the start, not trigger now. I'm using start, so the delay actually gets counted. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, I've spent a little bit of time. Well, I say a little bit of time. I've spent basically an entire day trying to write a script that will sort of alleviate our battery troubles. So, all right, let's go in here. Let's have a look at our batteries. So currently we can't set these to recharge because I will forget about it, and then these batteries will end up running out of power, and then the whole base cuts out, and it's just a giant nightmare. Although it looks like I've got these ones on recharge. Anyway, so I've written a script, but we need to name these. So the base batteries need to have the word base in their name for this to work. And the batteries that we're stealing power off need to have the word bank in them. Okay, so that's all good. I wonder if I've got the actual script copied. Okay, here's my script. No, we don't want that. I'm going to change the update to 100. All right, check code. Remember and exit. Now I did use what is it called? Visual Script Builder to make this. It's very primitive, and because I have no idea what I'm doing, and there's probably a lot better ways to do it, but it hopefully this will be all right. This will do what we want. What are we going to call this? Battery priority, I guess. Sounds reasonable. So that's already running. There's no like fancy output or anything because I don't know how to do that. But basically, all the batteries should be on recharge now. Yep. Okay, so what the script does is it looks for these batteries here, these bank batteries. When their charge, their total charge that they have left is less than 50 kilowatts, it takes all these batteries off recharge. That's all it does. Super simple. And yeah, it updates every 100 ticks, which is it triggers 3 times every 5 seconds. So it should be enough. It seems to be how fast the actual power gets triggered anyway. So it should be right. So hopefully that'll be all right. Okay, there we go. We've got the label on there. This place is starting to look pretty cool now that we're getting more functionality. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. We've got new batteries. So I spent all the power cells that we had. Actually, how's the hydrogen going? Yeah, we better fill that up. All right, I'll be back. Okay, let's go up here. So we've got 2 more batteries on here for a total of 4. Okay, there we go. That's all good. All right, starting to get pretty well situated with power. I'm going to leave this door down because it looks like we're going to have to redo that. Nah, screw it. I like the animation. I spent a lot of time on getting that to work, so we may as well use it. All right, so that's all the updates that I wanted to give you guys. One thing I am thinking that we need to do is build a bigger mining ship, because currently, like this guy, I have to do about 6 trips with him for us to get a decent amount of iron that it lasts, you know, a couple of days. That's not how you spell iron. It looks like we might be out Yeah, we're out of iron again. So that means production stopped, no doubt. Yep. Geez, does that mean we are like that? We don't even have anything smelted? Because we had a stockpile of about 8,000. Yeah, it looks like it's all gone. God damn it. Yeah, I'm sick of doing it. I'd rather do like 1 or 2 trips with the mining ship rather than having to do like 6. Oops, looks like there's a little bit of damage there from when I dropped it. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's grab that dark color. All right, so we want to increase our cargo capacity by 3-fold. So we're going to need 6 medium cargo containers. Or how much does a large cargo container hold? I think it's 4 times this amount. So we could have a large and 2 medium, or just screw it, we'll go with 2 large. Something like that. I wonder if we could fit that in there, because I'm pretty sure large cargo containers are pretty big. So normally when I do a build like this, I play around in creative just to get a gist for what I'm thinking and see if, you know, just have a little bit of test, see if it's going to work. But I have not done that this time, which may be a bad choice. So what is that, like 5 blocks? 5 small blocks? Yeah, it looks like it. Which means I'm pretty sure a large atmospheric thruster would fit in there nicely. Yeah. Okay. I need to know how wide this is gonna be. Just so I can get an idea. So yeah, we'll just throw that on. And just for measurement's sake, throw that straight on there. I probably want about 1 gap in between there, maybe 2. Maybe a gap of 2. So it'd be something like that. So that leaves us a little bit of room around the outside. We could separate these 2 cargo containers out a little bit. Yeah, so we've got 1 block on either side that we can extend out from this thing here, which is all right. Or if we wanted to make this thing narrower, we could take the jewels in a little bit, but I sort of like the 2 wide gap. What if we were to use the fighter cockpit. I mean, it's weird to put it on a mining vessel, but why not? Okay. So I just wanted to rotate this around so we got the small port at the front, because I think that's where we're going to connect it. I don't think we'll merge it and go down the center. I think we'll just leave this as a spine to sort of hold the craft together. Now we don't need this to come out as far as it is. Probably only need one gap in between the cockpit and the cargo containers. So let's go back to, actually let's lift this up a little bit. Now let's go to this. So that brings it in line with this. I probably want it to come up a little bit higher, to be honest. What to do? I'm thinking for this one, I want to try and get the connector to be in the middle of the craft. One of the things I don't like about this one is the fact that the connector is right at the very front. So actually, one thing we should be doing, if this loses power, it won't balance there by itself. It'll fall backwards. So if we could get a connector in the middle instead, it'll be perfectly balanced. So even if it loses power, it'll just sit there. So that's what I am trying to aim for. The reason I put those blocks there, I'm not entirely confident about my script. So the base may lose power at some point. Actually, how's that going? Fully depleted in 2 seconds. They are out. How's the base batteries doing? Oh, they've been taken off recharge. Oh my god. My script actually worked. Alright, time to get another battery. Okay, so connector. What if we put a junction box in the middle? And then we put the large cargo containers attached to that. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. So I wanted it to sit a little bit higher so we could end up doing a row of blocks like that. And we can round this off as well. So we've got that nice 45-degree angle there of the fighter cockpit. So that would look pretty cool. So what connectors do we have here? We've got a small one there, which we can connect up to there very easily. Yeah, that's fine. We can just run a little tube up there. And then we could come out the front here and go out to the drills. So we have something like that sitting on the end of it. I was trying to, I'm trying to get away from connecting them right next to each other like this. So I don't want that conveyor port there. I want to try and maybe loop it around here and connect it from the back. So we'll have this giant gap that runs all the way down through here. So I think that'll look pretty cool. But it is going to be a lot more expensive to do it that way. And I think I might extend this out a little bit more as well. These technically don't need to be in line. And it might look nice to have them a little bit offset. It'll create a bit of a unique shape. So let's try going back one block. That's not bad. It's only a single gap though. I did want two. So what if we... Yeah, we'll just put a curve on here. And then run it out this way. Okay, and what does two blocks back look like? It looks cool. I'm not sure how functional it'll be, but definitely looks cool. We'll give it a go. Yep, so that'll give us our 2 blocks in between all of this. And the idea is we'll clad this in armor. Actually, speaking of which, we're going to need some attachment points for armor onto this. So we should have a couple of junction boxes just in case. Like that, and there. That looks better. I like that. Okay, same on this side. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go get some hydrogen and stuff, and then we'll come back. Wow, that was strange. Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with the drills. Drills are good. Cargo containers look good. I really like the look of the fighter cockpit. I think that looks really, really good. So for thrust, I want to make sure it has enough to fill absolutely everything. I want to fill all 3 drills, the cockpit, the cargo containers, and the connector as well. So what if we go with 6 large thrusters? Is that something we could do without making this look hideous? It'd actually be really nice to get a thruster in here. Is that possible? Okay, just for now, I'm going to connect these drills like that, because I would like to cut this down. Now, yeah, we can't go underneath it because otherwise it'll just get cooked. So we will need to go around it. I think that could work. Doesn't really get in your way. And then that way we don't have to have all the thrusters at the back, which will make this look really off balance. Because if you imagine this as the majority of the weight, if we've got all the thrusters at the back, then it looks like it'll just do flips and that's it. But if we at least put a little bit of thrust at the front here, at least it'll give the illusion that you know, it's fairly balanced. Yeah, I think we'll do that. There we go. Large thruster. Like that. Beautiful. So we've only got to fit 4 at the back here. And I'm thinking we sort of off-center them. So rather than just like running them in a line, what if we put this one out this way? And then we have another one like that. I think that, yeah, it adds a bit more variation to the shape. Make it look a little bit more unique. Although I should have at least 1 block for armor. So right there. And I think seeing as these ones are facing sideways, we will... Well, they're not facing sideways. I mean, like they're towards the outside of the craft. If you notice when I'm spinning this around, see the top of it. See how it's sloped on an angle? I try to keep that in mind when I'm placing them, so that's why you'll see me rotating the thruster. It's only the large ones that have this angled front piece. But yeah, we're going to do it like that so they both slope up in towards the center. Now the front ones, I made them slope back up like that. Small thing. It's not really... It's not crucial. It's just something I've noticed. I think we'll do the same with these ones here. I really hope this works. Okay, we're going to need a lot of batteries to run this. So currently we've got 6 large thrusters at 2.4 megawatts each. That's 14.4 megawatts. If we divide that by 4.32, which is the maximum output of a small battery, we need 3.3 recurring batteries just to run these. Obviously, we want a little bit more power so we can run other directions at the same time. So 5, I'm thinking 5 should be good. This thing's going to be quite heavy, so we're going to need quite a few thrusters in other directions as well. We won't be able to get away with just the 3, I think it is, we've got on this. 2. Wow. So how can we fit 5 batteries in here? I'd like to be able to armor around that. So let's just put this as a placeholder there. All right, that gives us 5 batteries. Doesn't look too bad. All right, so what else do we need? We're gonna need gyroscopes. Let's throw a couple of these in behind the cockpit like we always do. I think we'll stick with 2, and if I need more, we'll add them. Might actually get some of this welded up. All right, cool. So, let's give ourselves a little bit more room here. We'll support it from this point here. So we can get rid of these. All right, so we need to make sure that we keep this connected. Otherwise, nothing's gonna work. All right. And we don't need these points here anymore. All right, awesome. What if we lifted these drills up 1 block so they're not all in a straight line? It's probably not as efficient, but I think it'd add a little bit more variation to the shape. Might make the ship look a little bit more unique, which could be very good. All right, looking good. We are going to need an antenna, which I'm going to try and hide somewhere. I Might make a little bit of a gap in between the conveyor junction and the batteries. And we'll be able to put an antenna in there. Oh, we need an ore detector as well. That's kind of important for a mining ship. Pretty sure it's just one detector. One detector component that we need. There we go. I always try to keep my antennas centralized. Like realistically, you can put it anywhere, but it kind of bothers me if the GPS marker is not in the middle of the ship somewhere. I don't know, just it bothers me for some reason. Okay, so we're laying these down like this. So they've got all their components except for the power cells now. And we do have access to these conveyor ports now as well. So if we want to add something else onto the end of it, we can do that. Not that there's a great deal of room in between the connector and the battery, like the height-wise. If we wanted to run anything along that way, it's going to be the same height as the connector, which is going to be bad. And we can't get past the conveyor ports. So I think that's a good spot for a detector instead. Okay, so we got a detector, we've got an antenna, gyroscopes. All right, so how are we going to dump stone that we don't want? So we're going to need 2 blocks because we'll need a sorter. And then we'll need the ejector itself. So if we do that, that brings it in line with the connector, which is fine. I'm happy with that. We can't do it here. Well, because we can't get in between there, but say if we were to remove that detector. No, we couldn't even do that because it'd be down 1 lower. I was just going to say, I don't want the ejectors right next to a component because when these stones spawn out of it, they're a little bit bigger than 1 block. So there's a chance that they'll damage the component next to them. But if we sit this here, there is nothing around it that can get damaged. Is that a small port there? That would be pretty cool, actually, if we use that point there. All right, let's try this. All right, I'm liking this so far. This is turning out pretty good. Now, the reason why I'm doing this weird contraption and I'm not going for this design here is I'd like to build an armor shroud around it, and I won't be able to do that in this location here because of the thruster. The thruster is the only thing that would make that not work. Although I could push the thruster out 1 more block, because it'd be pretty easy just to extend the conveyor up that way. which would allow me to do that. I'll show you what I'm thinking. So if we do something like this around it. I'll weld it all up so you guys can see. So I know it's difficult to imagine it while it's in wireframe. So something like that. So because of that slope, it's not going to damage any of the blocks, but it sort of, I don't know, makes it, it looks purposeful. And yeah, currently I can't do that because of the thruster, so we would need to get rid of these 3 blocks for that to work, and then it ruins it. So if we can get it working down here somewhere, away from all the thrusters, should be a lot better. I'm not sure if these would end up damaging each other because of the stone spawning, but I'm willing to give it a go. Because if we could have 4 of them, we would be able to eject the stone a lot quicker. Because that's one thing I noticed with this thing here, is that if I'm taking on quite a bit of stone, it actually takes a long time for it to get rid of the stone, to the point where sometimes I'm coming back to base and I'm still ejecting stone. So if we get rid of it quicker, it'd lighten up the load, which means we burn less power, and we can fit more iron in, or whatever we're mining, I guess. All right. Okay, it's time to start thinking about thrusters for other directions. There's only so far I can go with all the other components before I have to get this done. I've been dreading it. I'd like to try and put some sort of armor around these thrusters, so that's why I tried to leave myself a little bit of room, but I haven't really left enough space for thrusters, to be honest. Okay, so what does that give us? It gives us 10 forward and 10 reverse. And then what do we have? 6 sideways. It's probably not a great deal of sideways thrust. Alright, we got thrust in all directions. So we've only got 7 sideways thrusts, but I think that'll be right. We'll just have to remember to keep this thing fairly level when we're mining. I mean, the forwards and backwards, I'm pretty confident with 10 thrusters. Although I haven't made a mining ship that can carry this much before, so... This is all new to me. I like the way it looks. Let's hope it doesn't just fall out of the sky. All right, I think it's time to get the batteries welded up and see how she handles. All right, we got power. Now we're gonna check the power. So while it's connected, I like to do this. It uses 60% just using spacebar. How about backwards and wow, uses 90% just using backwards and upwards thrust. So it's pretty safe to say that, yeah, sideways is not gonna allow that. We need a sixth battery. We need a sixth battery. I think we'll just have to slap it right on the end. It's not a great deal we can really do about it. I wonder if this will tell us the... I want to see the center of mass. Oh, that's not bad. Putting another battery at the back is a bad idea because I'm pretty sure batteries are fairly heavy, which is going to throw it off balance a little bit more, but it's not bad. Let's see how far this shifts it. Yeah, it moved it a little bit. It's definitely not going to balance on the connector, is it? Maybe if the cargo containers were full, then it would. But not while it's empty, which is going to be the majority of the time. I can't really fix it either. If I pull the connector down one more block, we'll be able to fit a battery in here. I'll move those thrusters up towards the front. We could put a battery right in there. I don't want to put the battery here because it's the same height as the connector. So if ever we need to land on the ground for some reason, the battery is a point of contact and batteries are explosive. So that's a bad idea. This way, like the only points of contact are going to be the connector and the ejectors, which I'm totally fine with. Should we extend the connectors? I mean, the ejectors out a little bit further if we do that. Is that gonna stay there? Yep. Okay. So let's go to a new spot. So there's something in here called a conveyor frame, which is it's a large conveyor tube, but it's only a single block. So it's really handy for this type of thing where you need to extend something out further. Okay, so we do need to still connect that up. Rather than having the connection point there, I think we could probably do it up here. We do that. And then we just use two curves. Like that. Okay, battery. And two more thrusters. Hope this thing doesn't blow up in my face. All right, how are we looking now? With upward thrust, we're only using 50%. Reverse is 25, 75 with the 2 directions, 92 with 3 directions. All right, I'm happy with that. That's good. I should probably tell you guys like why I'm doing that. If you're using 100% of your power, it means some of the thrusters aren't able to get enough power to give the full thrust. So if you're in a situation where you're falling and you need to move sideways and backwards or something, you're trying to brake as well, not all of those thrusters are going to fire. So if it's a lifting thruster that doesn't get all the power, you will just plummet to the ground. So it's important to make sure you have enough power to run 3 directions. All right, do we want to extend these out a little bit? I'm not too keen on extending the armor down. But maybe just the ejectors? Nah, we'll just leave it like that. That's fine. That hardly even changed the weight. All right, let's disconnect it from here. That change where the center of mass is? No. Okay. Just making sure. It is still on the end of that. But unfortunately, there's nowhere else I can put anything. Oh, that's my bad. Let's get rid of that. How did that go? Yeah, that's better. Well, it's not awesome, but it's a little bit better. All right, how's she handle? Good amount of lift. Sideways is actually quite responsive while it's empty. Yeah, forwards and backwards. How's roll? Oh, roll is very slow. I think that gyroscopes handle roll. Yeah, it's quite slow turning with the mouse. All right, maybe one more gyroscope and we'll be set. So how much? We got 26 minutes worth of power left. One more gyroscope, I reckon, and should be perfect. Which will sit in there very nicely. Actually, is there a spot underneath that we could have done that? No. Okay. I also want a couple of scripts in here. Well, I want the ability to put a couple of scripts in here. I don't really have any purpose for them just yet. I wouldn't mind putting a couple of timer blocks on here as well. Just in case, because it's always nice to have that capability, and we've got the space for it. So let's throw in one that side there. Another one in there. Beautiful. I think that's pretty cool. It'll look a lot better once we get the armor on it. This is just the core components at the moment, which is going to change to the center of mass. It's already 63,000 kilograms. I think we might have difficulty carrying everything with this. Oh, she's not going to fit that way. It's not bad. Oh, Jesus. I just wanted to see how it balances. It's pretty risky. All right, that's no thrust at all. It sort of just tilts back a little bit, but it's sitting up there. No, it's starting to fall. Now I'm going to call this one the Anki. And I'm going to change the name of the other one to Dodie for Dodicurus. I know I really shouldn't change the names around, but I just feel like this, like the Anki is an upgrade to the Dodicurus in my opinion anyway, because you use the Dodicurus for stone gathering and then you use the Anki for metal gathering, which is a later tier type thing. So, yeah, this is the Anki. Let's change the name of the grid to Anki. We'll call it a medium. It's not really a large, is it? Medium Atmo Minor. All right, cool. This is going to be a long video. I might have to break it up into a couple of different videos. So far, it's taken me 2 hours to get this far. Anyway, let's get some armor on here. All right, I think I'm done. Wow. That took a long time. All right, let's see the damage. Weighs 68,000 kilograms. So I think it was 63, wasn't it? So we only added 5,000 kilograms worth of steel to it, which is pretty good considering how much armor I actually put on this thing. We're gonna need some lights. Okay. See, I just want to see if this is going to be enough. Can I select the light, please? Thank you. Yeah, I think that's going to be all right. Maybe we should add one at the front anyway. Yeah, screw it. Okay. Sure. And then should we go here or... Yeah, I think we'll go at the back. Damn it. It's supposed to be that way. All right, decent amount of light. What if we just do a corner light in there? Might look pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, now spotlights. We want probably about 4 of them, I reckon. Which are here. We want somewhere up high or high-ish. What about here? Oh, we need some more bulletproof glass for our cockpit. There we go. Okay, I think that's enough light. That looks pretty good. I'm really happy with the shape of this. It looks really cool. All right, cool. Let's get everything set up. I've just realized that I haven't even tested this thing yet. I've got like 4 hours. 4 hours of footage. This took me a long time to do. Okay. Where did our center of mass end up being? Yeah, still right at the end of that right at the end of the connector. Okay. Let's get some different colors on here. I really like those blue lights in there. It makes it look like it's those lights that are lighting it up. Looks really cool. All right, cool. Well, seeing as this video is already 45 hours long, I may as well make it a little bit longer, and we'll wait till morning and we'll test it out. So I'll see you guys then. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so now that it's morning and we can see it, now that I've spent all this time and resources on this mining craft that I haven't tested yet, let's go and test it, and hopefully it's all right. All right, we're up to 140,000 kilo. Now, this thing started off at 69 empty, 69,000 kilo. Starting to feel a little bit sluggish, but it's doing all right. Let's check the inventory. Cockpit's full. Connector's got nothing in it. One of the cargo containers is full. The other one is, yeah, about 3/4. And the drills are empty. So we've still got a little bit more we can put in there. Hopefully we've got enough thrust that we can hold that much weight. That's what we're aiming for. Because there's no point having cargo storage on here that we can't fill up. Coming up to 160,000 kilo. Let's see if we can get a view of the thrusters. Yeah, they're starting to work. They're probably at about 50% thrust at the moment by the looks of that plume. All right, there's 170. How are we looking? Cockpit's full, connector's full. We've just got the drills to go. Thrusters are working pretty hard, but I think it can handle it. Well, we hit 180,000 there for a little bit. 2 of the drills are full. Well, basically full. And one of them is 1/5. Oh, Jesus. I just noticed that we're under attack. We have a drone that's 1.7 clicks out. Let's get out of here. Wow, yeah, this thing still has a lot of lift. That is awesome. I think this was a success. It's not too bad at slowing down, considering how heavy it is, 182,000 kilograms. This is the largest mining vessel I've created. I'm not sure if the turrets would be able to get that. Let's just land this thing really quick. And I'm gonna try and lure that thing over to the turrets. Lucky he's stuck on that mountain at the moment. Yeah, it looks like he's coming over. He's gonna get a couple of shots off. You bastard. Well, luckily it had the decoy. That's what it was shooting at. But it did damage a couple of the... Oh, wow. It's alright. We've got backup solar cells. Yeah, I shouldn't have left that so long. All right, is that it? Just the 4 solar panels? All right, cool. Oh, I'm so happy with that miner. That's awesome. So I'm gonna keep the Doty because we might have a use for it. Maybe there's a little tunnel or something we need to dig, and yeah, might come in handy. But yeah, this guy, wow. I'm really impressed. So now that we've got a decent miner, I'm gonna start work on the hangar. So I've got a I've got some plans in mind for a very big hangar. Yeah, it looks really cool. Nice and unique. We need parking spots. That's what we need. Don't really want to put it on the ground either. But we might have to. I don't know where to put it. Just for now. Watch this thing stay here for weeks. Alright, let's open up the door, which we need to turn on the antenna to do that. Okay, detach. It's so much fun. It's not efficient whatsoever, but it is really fun. Moving batteries around. I'm scared to set up the autopilot to do it because I'm worried I'm gonna set it up wrong and it's gonna crash. Okay, now the refineries are processing it. And we've still got 120,000 in there. 57,000 in there. Oh, that's good. That was like probably about 8 trips worth of this guy. Oh no, the other one, wherever it is, the Dodie down there. 8 trips. We did in one. All right, so I think we're ready to call it an episode now. I feel good about this. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. As always, don't forget to lead your targets, and I'll see you next time.